why you are receiving less and less and less money. But it feels like we have to hustle more. We have to apply a lot of maybe unpleasant, maybe questionable, maybe uncomfortable strategies. If we want to wholeheartedly contribute and give our gifts, give something from within our authentic soul, there's just no place for that. Let's be honest, if you are present on social media, posting, commenting, adding other people and engaging with them, you don't really have time to create your art. You don't have time to actually work. Have we created a system that is a hamster wheel that is spinning faster and faster, and we are just bound to run in that hamster wheel until we drop dead? Hello everyone, my name is Marina and this is my Words on Earth coaching space. Everyone is very welcome here. On this channel I'm recording videos on mindful career development, personal growth, and topics that are very much related to our soul growth. So the topics can also be very spiritual, philosophical in nature. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe to my channel so you're always updated on the latest videos. And today we're going to be discussing one of the very interesting and quite philosophical, spiritual topic. I'm very happy to finally talk about it as well. The topic for today is why you are receiving less and less and less money. Why does it feel like providing for yourself and for your loved ones is becoming harder and harder? Why you might feel like earning money is becoming a struggle. You have to hustle more, you have to give away more of your energy, more of your attention. Why does it feel like punishment? Earning money, having a job, working these days specifically for you. And of course, I don't claim that what I'm going to be talking about today is going to apply to every single person in this situation, but it will explain it to some of you who really cannot explain this phenomena by anything else reasonable, logical, something that you would think about, immediately, something like economic recession, maybe economical crisis in your country, maybe the economical instability in your company or in another workplace that you're working at. So I will be talking about more fundamental, more philosophical reasons today. Let's start first with defining a problem. So how does it feel? I'm talking to a lot of people and also knowing that from personal experience. It feels like a very big challenge these days because it feels like money is becoming this very elusive resource that it's really hard to get in a sort of ethical, nice, organic way. It feels like it should be much easier, right? If you do your job really well, if you really wholeheartedly give your value, offer your value to the world, you should be reimbursed. Like it should be that easy, right? But it feels like we have to hustle more. We have to apply a lot of maybe unpleasant, maybe questionable, maybe uncomfortable strategies. And everyone from everywhere shouts at us that we have to be competitive, we have to work harder, we have to hustle, we have to be ahead of our competition, we have to have strategies and models, and we have to have, tactics for every single thing. We have to tweak, we have to improve. And of course, it gives a lot of anxiety to people because it feels like we are never enough. The world is becoming so complex, so oversaturated, so crowded that whenever we have to offer, seems like there is no place for that. There is no need for that. And if we want to wholeheartedly contribute and give our gifts, give something from within our authentic soul, there's just no place for that. And some of, especially creative people out there, I know you will understand me, it feels like no one needs what you're doing and you really have to push it onto people. Instagram tells you that you have to publish every single day and you have to comment under people's posts, you have to like, you have to be present all the time. But let's be honest, if you are present on social media, posting, commenting, adding other people and engaging with them, you don't really have time to create your art. You don't have time to actually work. and your craft is in your work. It's not about how you market it. And it's very frustrating for a lot of people. And I know from personal experience, it was very frustrating for me. Some of my recent clients experienced a similar situation, that financial question is becoming an issue. And to probably my biggest surprise is that it doesn't matter what's your position. It doesn't matter how high you were before it started happening. Because you would think that people in corporations, in very high positions, people that earn thousands and thousands and thousands of euros and dollars, they're secure, right? They can always get money, they can always get yet another job. But the surprising fact is that no, it's as hard for them as for anyone else. So what is it happening? What is happening? Why is it so hard? Why everyone feels like we're punished, right, in the world? Have we created a system that is a hamster wheel that is spinning faster and faster, and we are just bound to run in that hamster wheel until we drop dead from exhaustion? That's a very big question, and I am not an expert in economics to tell you what are the material reasons for all of that, but I can tell you what are the fundamental metaphysical and spiritual reasons for some of you experiencing this right now. So each one of us is on a journey, has a certain life purpose, and has a goal of developing and growing. We come into this life to experience a set of different events, to make conclusions, to learn from them, to take some action, and then to see how our actions are aligned with our general inclination of our soul. To say it in very simple words, we're here to live and experience, make mistakes, to learn from them, to make good choices, to learn from them as well, and to compare. So this life is largely about experimenting. There is no grand plan that leads us from point A to point B. There is no set in stone path that is laid for each one of us, nor for the society. Everything is largely an open experiment. There are, of course, certain rules that guide this experiment. There are definitely rules that guide how everything works, but largely we are free to roam within those boundaries, and within those rules we can take any decisions that we feel are right for us. And of course, it's, I think, unquestionable that every one of us is on a different level of this personal journey and growth, and generally on different level of our soul development. Some people have lesser of an expand awareness. They live largely in the material world. They see everything linear. They see very linear correlations between events, between their actions and the consequences. Some other people see a little bit more of a 3D correlation between the events and things. So they are able to plan a little bit more far ahead, and they see how events that are seemingly not correlated at first glance actually are related through the chain of different events. There are also people that are not living in this world only in the material, physical sense. People who understand more about emotions, who understand about subconscious mind, collective consciousness. People who are able to receive information that is beyond the physical, right? And every one of us has different level of our development. And people who are experiencing most of the financial burdens are either on a very low level of development of their awareness, or actually on a very high level of development. And they are in this sort of transitional period. It's the point where their soul has to pass an exam, so to say, and take a decision. Do I want to continue living in the material world? Do I want to be guided by the material physical rules? Do I want to be a participant on this game on the same level as everyone else? Or do I want to graduate to the next level, and do I want to let go of all the material possessions, addictions, and desires? And if the soul is at this point of a decision, it will experience the loss of all the material possessions and addictions that the person has developed. So if you are a soul developed to that point where you have to take a choice, If you want to continue living material world, but your soul is already striving to evolve higher and let it go, then you will be experiencing gradual loss of all these material possessions, so that your soul can learn that you actually don't need them. I know it's a very tough lesson to learn. It's really scary, it's really hard, because even though your soul is evolved enough to understand that this is the right path, everything is okay, you will be taken care of. I know that you know that the universe takes care of you. If you believe in universe, or the God, if you believe in God, or the source, the energy, however you want to call this, but deep down inside of you, you know you're taken care of, you're not alone. So letting go of the security might seem to be like a very hard and maybe even impossible task. It's really, really scary to let go of material possessions, especially those that are associated with the security, like money. But that's exactly what your soul wants to teach you. And not for everyone it's going to be a very hard lesson, because not everyone is really attached to money. It depends on your experience. Of course, it depends on your experience during this life. As a child, maybe in your childhood, maybe your parents have inherited some sort of generational trauma around money, perhaps from the grandparents. Maybe it's associated with the Second World War, where a lot of people experienced very tragic events, and this trauma and fear of survival has been encoded into the families, and then each generation is passing it on to yet another one. So you might have inherited something like this, or maybe it comes from very, very long time ago for you, let's call it this way, and you are still yet to experience the support, love, care of the universe through developing this trust that even though you are not provided anything in a guaranteed manner, you're still going to be taken care of. And trust me, I do know how suffocating and scary this feels. I know that some people experience almost like panic attacks when they think about it, that they're going to lose all the money, they're going to lose their home, their shelter, maybe their car, maybe medicine or something like this, and their whole physical survival is endangered. But trust me, if your soul is giving you this experience, it means that your soul knows that you're ready for that, and that you can learn to trust it and to experience it in very profound and life-altering way. If you are really passing this exam, if you are graduating to the next level, then of course the next level is existence in a completely different manner. It's the existence of creation, where you don't fear for your survival at the same level anymore, because you trust deep down inside of you that everything that is happening to you, it's a co-creation between you and the higher self. It's the co-creation between the you and the universe, and you're trusting it, that if you are at that level, at that high level, it means that it's not by mistake or by chance you're here. And if you are to deliver something very important to the world, then of course this world will take care of you. And in parentheses, I will tell you that this is relevant to every single one of us. Every single one of us is here to do something very, very, very important. No one's job or task or purpose is more important than others. It's an illusion. It's a material illusion of this hustle culture and society that we are experiencing right now, that some people are more important than others. Some jobs are more important than others. And I know a lot of people will get triggered by it. A lot of people will reject it. They say, of course not. A doctor is more important than a thief or a robber. A president is more important than the doctor. UN nation commissioners and officers are more important than politicians in a local community. But all of this is just an illusion. It's an illusion of separation. And every single one of us is just as important as everyone else. And moreover, every single thing around us is just as important as we are. So humans are no more important than animals. Animals are no more important than rivers, the water, the rocks, the minerals, the grass, the wind, the water. Planet Earth is no more important than any other planet. Solar system is no more important than any other system. Our galaxy is no more important than any other galaxy. Of course, again, this is a metaphysical conversation. Some people are not interested and are not willing to engage in this kind of conversation, and that's totally fine. It's perfectly all right. But those of you that know and feel what I'm saying resonates with you, please express your opinion. What do you think? Do you feel that this lesson of letting go of our addictions, letting go of our possessions is a necessary lesson right now for very many people on planet Earth? Do you also feel that a lot of us have come to the point in our development when we are ready to pass this test, to learn how to let go, to learn to trust, to let the flow bring us to the destination and the place where we are meant to be? Let me know in the comments if you are ready for such a lesson. How are you dealing with it? From personal experience, I must say that it's a very hard lesson. I used to be very addicted to money, to success, to admiration. I really needed it. And the interesting thing about me personally was that I didn't need it for myself, for my personal ego purposes, as much as I needed it for my survival. For some reason, I was encoded with information that if only I'm providing for myself these things, money, status, career, admiration, I will be secure. I will be accepted, I will be loved, I will be living a good life, I will be living a life that is not painful or scary in any way to my body or to my personality. So that was my path, and I needed to let go of my addictions, of my desires, of these fears very gradually. Not 1 year it took me, and not one single iteration. I did have several rounds of letting go of these fears and these addictions. It was always very hard, but with each new round, with each new circle in the spiral, it was easier and easier because of the awareness, because I was more aware what is happening to me, what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do. And I also was gaining more education on how to help myself in these troubling times, how to support myself. First of all, of course, on a physical level, because a lot of fear is coming from the body. The body is triggered on a very visceral level, on the level of hormones. It's triggered for survival, to provide for its survival. So of course it was largely the body that I needed to learn as soon as possible how to manage during these times. But then of course it's emotions. And for me personally, I'm very strong in my mental state, so I can control my thoughts very well. I can control my thinking patterns and my logic, so I know how to deal with that very well. Then emotions is my second strength. I can manipulate my emotions, I can change them, I can modify them when I need to transform them. But then the body for me was the hardest part. I have the least connection with my body for many different reasons. If you know about talents and potentials that I'm talking about, system of human potential that I'm working with, if you know about that, then you know what I'm talking about. But I'm definitely not the person who has access to the body as much. And I know some of you told me that every single person has equal ability to connect with their body, emotions, and mind. And I wish that was as easy as that. It's a little bit more complex. We, of course, all have access to these modalities. We can, of course, connect with them and work with them and improve our ability to manage it. But some of the things are easier than others for us. And that's not a coincidence, that's not a mistake either. But that's a topic for a completely different video. That's what I wanted to share for today. Please let me know if this was relevant for you. If you want me to specify something on a very particular part of this video, I'll be happy to provide more guidance. Like this video if it was timely. If you want to share it with someone else, share it with other people, please let them know. I wish a lot of people gain awareness as early as possible in this transition period, because the anxiety, the fear, and the mistakes that people make because of those fears and anxiety just make the world suffer a little bit more than it should. So feel free to share this video, and of course subscribe so you can watch more of similar videos on the topics that are very important in our personal journey, in our personal growth. So that was it. Thank you guys for being with me today. I will see you next time. Bye.